Welcome back to another completely useless video, or if you're new, welcome to 8 of the most useless minutes of your life. If you haven't already, I'd recommend checking out the other videos in this series first, seeing as this is the second part of the second team in the series. Links are in the description. As we did with the Aussies, we're going to make a second team too. Let's go right on ahead and put Trescothick, Peterson and Anderson in there, as they were very close to making the first team. Now, onto our other opener. Gooch or Knight is what you're probably expecting, but we need a keeper too, so Alex Stewart needs to come into the question. Given that we've already used Bairstow and Butler, we're not left with a lot of options. Of course, we could move one of them into the second team, but that's completely negating the point of this exercise. We're not trying to make two really strong teams, we're trying to make the best team possible, and then the best of the rest. So that leaves us with Stewart from our shortlist, and that's it. Did I miss anyone? Maybe Pryor, Keyswetter, Geraint Jones? Not exactly batting royalty. And if we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel, maybe Alan Knott? A pretty poor ODI record in just 14 matches, along with a fine but not amazing World Series cricket record, doesn't exactly inspire confidence. I think Stewart is the best option. He wasn't a great ODI batter, but I think he's the best of our options. Now, the next question is, where do we bat him? He was at his best as an opener, but it's not like he was spectacular here. I'd much rather play my best opener and move Stewart down the order. Given that Stewart has batted a fair bit in several other positions, I feel okay doing that. So what I'm going to do is make my best 11 without a keeper and switch Alex Stewart in at the end. So our opening conundrum does indeed boil down to Graham Gooch versus Nick Knight. A deep dive on them will yield very similar numbers. Gooch is slightly quicker, and Knight averages 2 more. I'm going to go with Gooch because cricket is not just a stats game. I'm next going to go to the most natural spots, obviously 6 and 7. I think you need at least one bowling option in your top 6, and if you have only one bowling option in your top 6, your 7 needs to hopefully be a 10 over bowler who is a good bat. Amongst the candidates we've got left, that's not a lot of choice. Collingwood, Moeen Ali, and Botham. Woakes, Willey, Plunkett, and Broad are all capable with the bat, but certainly not number 7s. We've got to play at least 2 of these for our team to have the required balance, and Collingwood and Moeen is not the combo we're looking for. You can't trust them to get 10 overs between them every game, so it looks like Ian Botham does make the squad after all. Given his outstanding exploits in Test cricket, his ODI career is really underwhelming. He did, however, average high 20s with a great strike rate, which is a pretty decent number 7. His bowling, at the very least, was about on par with the rest of our candidates, so he provides good balance to the squad. While we're here, might as well finish off the bowling. Embury is the only spinner we've got left. The only possible issue is that he's an off spinner, which Moeen will also bowl if he makes the team. Monty Panesar and Ashley Giles offer a solution to that problem, but I think Embury was by far the best bowler in the crop, so he is definitely the one who makes the team. Besides, Moeen isn't even necessarily in the team yet. So we need 2 more fast bowlers to join Jimmy, and I think this is one of the times where you ask 10 people and you'll likely get at least 8 different answers. Woakes, Willey, Plunkett, Broad, Archer, Finn. Most people would probably agree Archer is the most talented bowler of the lot, but the only reason I'm hesitant is the very limited number of matches he's played. I think out of the remaining bowlers, they're all pretty similar in bowling ability, and there's no wrong answers. Maybe Woakes just scraping ahead as the best. Having said that, I'm going to take David Willey, because I like having a left-hander if possible. But given how we've already got Anderson and Botham, who are similar types of bowlers to Woakes, I think Woakes wouldn't be the best for balance of the team. I don't know if I'm happy with my final decision. There's a good chance I'll change my mind by tomorrow, but I think I'm going to go with Archer. So, let's get back to our 3, 4, 5, and 6. We know Peterson is making the team, probably at 4, and either Collingwood or Moeen. Given that we've already got 4 seamers and an offie, neither bowling style is really suited over the other, in which case it comes down to who's the better batter, and there the answer is Collingwood. That's not to say Moeen can't still get into the team. He can. But first let's review our options for number 3. There's Gower, who's by far the quickest scoring batter, a strike rate nearly 10 higher than anyone else. Trott didn't play much, but when he did, he was very difficult to dismiss. He did score his runs quite slowly though. Ian Bell didn't score with anywhere near the consistency that Trott did, but he scored at a similar pace over nearly 100 more matches. Alan Lamb and Robin Smith have very similar records and were quite similar players. If I could only take one, I would go probably with Lamb. He's played more matches, has a better World Cup record, and didn't have the same vulnerability against spin that Smith did. Between the 4 of these, again, it's not an easy decision, but I think Gower is our best option. Now, on to our 5 and 6, one of which will be Collingwood. The other will either be Fairbrother, Moeen, or possibly even Alan Lamb. However, I think this decision matters the least because of the one thing we spoke about earlier. We need to get Stewart in somewhere. I think we minimise our losses if Stewart replaces one of these rather than Gower or Gooch. And that finalises our team. If we play Collingwood at 5 and Stewart at 6, it's by no means a great team, but it is at least a good one. Our top 4 looks solid with 2 righties and 2 lefties, all of whom are relatively free-scoring batters. Collingwood brings lovely balance at 5 with good batting and helpful medium-pace bowling. Our keeper and all-rounder in at 6 and 7, Stewart and Botham. Both were excellent in tests, but left a bit to be desired in ODIs. However, given the role they fill, they were our best options. Bowling looks quite strong. Willie is a handy bat at 8 and a left armour. Anderson and Archer round off our bowling lineup, and Embury is our lone spinner. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, or if you didn't, hopefully you at least managed to kill a few minutes and think about cricket for a bit. Feel free to leave any thoughts of your own 11s in the comments, and you can subscribe if you never want to miss a useless video. Bye all!